Hi guys, welcome back to Ashire Books. I'm here today to do my September book haul. As usual, most of them are from used bookstores, and there's a couple from a couple different places like sprinkled throughout. I did want to preface this by saying I'm very sorry if I accidentally show one that I've already hauled last month, because I decided the other day to clean up and organize the shelves, and because of that I put all the books away like where they're supposed to go. So I kind of got them all messed up, and I couldn't remember exactly which ones I bought in September and which ones I bought in August, like the ones from the beginning of the month. But I think I figured it out. So anyways, just wanted to say, if for some reason you see something twice, very sorry about that. There's quite a few books to get through this month. A lot of them I got on credit at a used bookstore, so I don't feel too bad, but there's some really good ones, so let's look at the books. So the first two I was so excited to find, and that is the UK covers of Julia Quinn's The Viscount Who Loved Me and How to Marry a Marquess. I feel like we're always talking about how to say this word, but I think it's Marquess. Anyways, these two are absolutely adorable, and they're at the UK covers, and they were at the used bookstore for like $1.50 a piece, and I was so excited because I had seen these online before, but I didn't really need to buy them because I already had the US covers for them. But that was such a good deal. I could not pass it up, and I adore them. This one I'd already read, in the Bridgertons, and then this one I just read this month, so you'll see me talk about this one in my part 2 wrap up. The next one I got was The Governess Game by Tessa Dare, and yes, I still have the price tag on there because I forgot to take it off, but this one is book 2 in her Girl Meets Duke series. This is the second book. It follows the Duchess deal, which came out last year, and I absolutely loved. Everyone's been raving over this book. Her covers are also just pretty stunning. So I'm really excited to read this one. I haven't got to it quite yet, but this one, from what I know, follows a girl whose job it is to wind clocks or set the time on clocks. And so when she's doing her job, she kind of meets this man. I don't know too much about it. I kind of want to go in a little blind, but I know we met the main character in the first book, and she was very adorable. So I'm excited to read her story. The next one is Good Luck With That by Kristan Higgins. This book is actually the book club for the Happily Ever Afters book club, which is run by Jen from Jen Talks Audiobooks. And then Lisa from Books and Smiles also participates in it, and they asked if I would participate in it. So I participated last month, and then this month's choice was Good Luck With That, and I really enjoyed this book. This book follows 3 friends who meet at basically a fat camp or a losing weight camp when they're teenagers, and then it jumps to the present, which is 15 years later, and it kind of follows all 3 friends just through them struggling with a lot of things, but one of the main things being body image and their weight and things like that. This book handled a lot of really tough subject matter, in my opinion, really well. I know there was a bit of kind of criticism about this book when it first came out, but I personally really enjoyed it, and I just thought it was a really thought-provoking book. It really makes you kind of think about yourself and your life. So I really recommend this book. I'm thinking about doing a book review on this one just because I feel like I have some things to say. But before that though, there is a live stream going to be happening for the Happily Ever Afters book club tonight, which is Sunday, September 30th. On Jen's channel, so Jen Talks Audiobooks. I'll link it down below. Definitely come join us if you've read this. I think it's going to be a fantastic chat, and I'm really excited to hear everyone else's thoughts. So if you've read it, come check it out, and if you haven't, I highly encourage you to pick it up. It was definitely worth the read. Because I like that book so much, I wanted to pick up something else by Kristan Higgins, and the girls last week had suggested this series, which is the first one's called The Best Man, and it says it's a Blue Heron novel, so I think that's the series. This just looks like a really adorable contemporary romance. I don't know too much about it. I kind of just picked it up because it was the first in that series, and I enjoyed her writing and her characters so much that I really wanted to take a chance on it and try it out. So if anyone else has read any other Kristan Higgins books that they really love, definitely let me know what your favorite is. But this series sounds adorable, and I'm excited to kind of find another contemporary series to try out. The next book I got is Something About You by Julie James. This one I've heard amazing things about, and I think the man in this works for the FBI, and I think the woman's a lawyer, if I'm correct. I could be wrong on that, but I know it has a little bit to do with like some suspense, like law type aspects, and then also a love story. So it just sounded really intriguing. Her books have had really good ratings, and I've heard a lot of people kind of raving about them. This is book 1, I think, in the series, so that's why I picked it up. It's not in the best condition, but I really didn't mind. It was a good price, and I'm excited to read this. The next one I got because I saw Bree from Bree Hill talking about it on her Instagram, I think it was, and that is Crime and Poetry, A Magical Bookshop Mystery by Amanda Flower. So as I've mentioned before, I really love the idea of a cozy mystery, and I really want to find one that I like, but I have tried a couple over the past couple months, and I didn't really like them. I couldn't get through them or get kind of started. I kept just kind of putting it down. But this one sounds adorable, and I know she really liked it, and I think it's an ongoing series. I think there's like 2 out maybe, and there's like a 3rd one coming out. So, I mean, it has to do with a bookshop, and I think it's a girl who basically has to go home because she thinks her grandma's sick. It turns out her grandma's fine, but I think it has to do something with like maybe her grandma's like framed for murder or something, so she has to like help out with that. So I'm hoping this is gonna win me over and help me dive into the cozy mystery realm. The next one I got was Frigid by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've actually already read this book, but I had it on my Kindle because this one came out a couple of years ago at least, like maybe 5 years ago, and I did read it. It's a short read, but honestly I was just so excited to see this at a used bookstore for $3.50 that I had to pick it up because you know, it wasn't my favorite book from her. It was kind of just like a quick contemporary read. If I remember, it was like a friends to lovers, and these 2 friends go on like the ski trip or something, and they get stuck in the ski lodge, and one thing leads to another, and I think we can figure out where this is going, but her writing is just so cute, and I figured this might be a nice fun read to like reread this winter. So the cover is kind of cringy if you ask me. In my opinion, it's not my favorite cover, but I still am excited to have it. So another one that I found that was a self-published book at the used bookstore was this one called Keep Me Still by Casey Quinn. I'm actually pretty sure I've actually already read this one too a few years ago on my Kindle, but again, it was $2.95 for a self-published book, and usually, you know, these are quite expensive to buy a hardback or a hard copy of it on Amazon. So this one just, when I first read the back of it, I did not remember that I had read it first. And it sounded really good. It's about like a girl who had like something tragic kind of happen in her past, but she's trying to move past it and all that, and she goes to, I think she goes to college. I think this is like a new adult, and she meets a guy who kind of helps her come out of her past and kind of move forward. I don't know, it just sounded like something, again, that was like a nice lighthearted, well, lighthearted in the sense of like it's contemporary, you know. I can usually read new adult books really fast, so that's kind of like a quick read, and I was really excited to have some more contemporaries like on my shelf. The next one I got is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. This is one I've been meaning to read for so long. This is one of the ones I cannot remember if I already hauled this. If I did, very sorry. But so I picked this one up at my bookstore. I actually already think I have the Kindle version, if I'm not mistaken, but I just haven't gotten to it, and I've heard some mixed reviews on this, but it seems like something I would really like. You know, obviously it has to do with Jack the Ripper. I believe she is working as like a coroner type thing, or in the medical profession like back in the day, so obviously there's a lot of like kind of problems coming along with that, and I know there's a love story in here as well. So I really want to read this fall. Like, this is one I am determined to make myself read this fall because it just sounds so good, and I meant to read it last year, just didn't get to it. So anyways, if anyone's read this, let me know your thoughts on it, if you think I'll like it. The next one I got was That Burning Summer by Lydia Saison. This is one of those books I just randomly found at the bookstore, and it sounded really good. It's a World War II historical fiction, and it takes place in Europe. I believe it takes place in England, and basically a girl is out, I think she's just like outside somewhere near her house, and a plane crashes, and on the plane is a soldier, and I believe he's like a German soldier. He's like an enemy soldier. And so they kind of like form a friendship, but I think she kind of helps to like hide him from the people in the area. And I think it's just like a very sweeping tale of, I'm guessing, kind of love and friendship during World War II, and I'm such a sucker for a good World War II book. I just think they can be the most like emotional, gut-wrenching, and like heartwarming stories. So I'm hoping this will be that. So the next 3 books I got are all in the same series, and I've already read 2 of them, and those are the next 3 books in Sarah Morgan's like New York series. So it's Sunset in Central Park, which I talked about in my last wrap up, and I really loved it. This whole series is one of my favorites, which is why I wanted to get a physical copy of them, because I've been listening to most of them on audiobook. So this one was the one I read last month, and then I got Miracle on Fifth Avenue. Again, this is the 3rd book in the series, and I finished this one like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. So I'll talk about this one in my wrap up that's coming up soon. And then I got the next one, which I believe is number 4. This one might be later in the series, but it's Moonlight Over Manhattan. And I was just really, yes, there is a sticker that I need to get off of there, but this series is just one of my absolute favorite contemporaries right now. I think it's such a well-written series. I love Sarah Morgan's characters and the romances, and I just feel like it's such a perfect combination of like a coming of age, like figuring out who you are / love story. They're funny and they're witty, and the love stories are swoony. So if you want a good like kind of contemporary romance series, pick this one up. So I just picked up the next like 3 in the series. The next one is The Good Luck Charm by Helena Hunting. This was the one I got in my Blind Date with a Book Swap that I recently put up about a week ago from Mame, and I am so excited to read this book. This actually might be my next read because it sounds amazing. So this one is a contemporary romance as well, and it's kind of like a second chance love story, as well as kind of like a hate to love, because basically our 2 characters were dating like high school sweethearts. He went to college and was like a hockey player and basically broke up with her, and not such a good breakup from what I can understand. And then it flashes to years later, and he comes home to help his parents. I think his dad got sick or had a heart attack or something like that, and they kind of are forced to like see each other again, and it kind of goes from there. I'm really excited because I used to say that I really hated second chance love stories. They just weren't my favorite. But I do think there are certain times they work, and one of them is when it's like a high school love that they're just kind of torn apart by more like circumstances and college and, you know, futures than anything. I think sometimes those really do work, and they can be some of my favorites. So I love the idea of this. I also love hockey in books, so I will probably be talking about this one very soon. Only 2 left. All right, the next one is It Takes Two by Jenny Holiday. This is one of her Bridesmaids Behaving Badly books. I haven't read anything by Jenny Holiday, but they had this one and it was a very good price, so I picked it up. I think this might be book 2 in the series, but I know they're all about separate couples, so I think I'll be okay. I know a lot of people were raving over this one and like her newest one in the series not long ago, and it's like a rom-com, and it has to do with like bridesmaids, and he's the groomsman, and I think they have like a competition to see like who can throw the best like bachelor parties in Vegas. So it just sounds like so much fun if you want like a light contemporary with like good characters. I think this will be a winner, so I'm excited to try out Jenny Holiday too, because I think she might be a new favorite author. And the last one I got was The Apple Orchard by Susan Wiggs. I picked up, which I actually didn't pull out, but I did haul it this month as well, and that was The Beekeeper's Ball by Susan Wiggs. I don't know where I put it at this moment, but I will find it. But that's book 2 in this series, and again, I think they're by about different couples, so I probably would have been okay. But when I posted a picture of The Beekeeper's Ball on Instagram a couple of days ago, a lot of people were saying that they loved The Apple Orchard, which is book 1 in that kind of series. So when I saw it there, I was like, okay, I'll just go ahead and get it and read this one first. I don't really know what it's about, but I know that it's contemporary, and I know that my mom really loves this author, so I figured I would hopefully give it a go and like it. The cover is really pretty too, so I will report back about whether I like this one or not. Alright guys, so those are all the books that I bought in the month of September. Perhaps one or two too many, but that is okay. I feel like I got some really good deals and some books that I'm really excited to get to. Let me know what you guys have bought this month, or if there's any in this haul that you have read or really excited to read as well. I hope you guys are having a really great month. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!